Good evening, and welcome to Of Dice and Them. We are a TTRPG actual play podcast, and you join us for another episode of Blades in the Dark. My name is Tove, and I am your games master for this evening, and I'm by myself. Just kidding, we've got Bambi!
Yeah!
We've got Jack!
Hi.
We've got Ralph!
That's me. Ralph's in the building. Hello.
And we've got Lou.
Hey! That was the most animated Bambi's ever been, by the way.
I thought, I'm not going to be talking for like the next 25, 30 minutes. I should make a big impact in the intro.
And then everyone just assumed that you talked a lot.
So Chekhov's Bambi.
Exactly.
There's a very clear approach and strategy that Bambi brings to the table, which is minimal but memorable.
Not even memorable. Memorably minimalistic.
I think we should put that on Bambi's tombstone. Minimal but memorable.
Not even memorable.
Was alive, allegedly.
Shall we return to the city in the dark? In the greasy gloom of Saren's Undercity, a solemn procession winds its way through Ravenswing. The Underchurch of Arena, with its Gothic spire, may watch over the rooftops of the city, but the streets are watched more readily by its adherents and clergy. It is these who now walk the streets in groups, preaching and praying for the salvation of the residents and sinners in this dark city. Amongst their number, amid the pennants and bells of the procession, fore and aft of a statue depicting the Mother Goddess herself, a Forger sister looks up from her rosary. Her eyes scan the street, taking in every doorway and passerby.
Oh, crap.
But her watchful gaze drifts over the raggedy figure of a woman observing the procession in plain sight, just another of the countless poor and unhoused residents of the city. That same woman in her raggedy dress stands before you now, conveying the troubling news of the Forger sisters' encroachment on your territory, and extolling the virtues of having a network of informants like her and her colleagues on your side. You see, this is but a small taste of how your fine selves might benefit from having a friend like me.
And how much does an informant like yourself cost us?
Oh, well, we might be able to come to an arrangement, perhaps?
Yeah, we might.
Only if you start speaking a little bit more plainly. Sorry, that was in a weird voice. Can I do that again?
Oh, if you must, go ahead. But I'll be continuing with my weird voice.
Sounds good. Only if you start talking a little bit more plainly.
Oh, very well, I shall slough the eloquence from my persona.
If you would.
This is looking at the mechanics of the game.
Oh.
We discussed between ourselves before embarking on this little episode, we're going to start looking at turf and claims.
Oh yeah, because we lost our zero claim.
Because we have very little of all of those.
We pissed off nuns.
Yes, and so you are now finding yourself with Tier 0 weak hold. So things may go badly if you get any worse as a group. So we were looking at expanding the turf of the gang, which for the shadows that you are, the most attractive one was informants, giving you +1 dice to gather info for scores.
Sounds good.
Yes, I didn't just make that up. I'm glad there are nods of agreement. Archie has brought a proposal wherein you are to rig a Dross race, which, as I say out loud, sounds way worse than when I had it written down.
So much worse. What the fuck have you done?
What's a Dross?
Big beetle.
Ooh.
Oh, you called it a Dross. Why did you call it a Dross?
Obviously, I was not... It was probably a placeholder that I then assumed was going to be...
We spent time to come up with such a cool fucking thing to beautifully characterize this world that we share together, and you called it a fucking Dross?
Can we all collectively come up with a different name for the big beetles that they race down here in the Undercity?
Ralph, go.
Don't say Dross, don't say Dross, don't say Dross.
Anything but Dross. Anything but Dross.
A beepily bop.
Better than
That's
Dross.
the best yet.
Stags.
Stag racing.
Stag race. Yeah, that's pretty good, actually.
Yeah. RuPaul's stag race.
That's exactly what I was about to say!
Okay, so we can't have that.
Well, we can.
Yes, we can, because then we can have merch with it, which subtly plays on it.
Stags it is.
On with the story.
Something Archie's always wanted to do is to rig a stag race.
What's a
Stags are
stag?
the large beetles that are raced in the Undercity for entertainment because horses are so hard to get down the stairs.
That's so cool! Oh my goodness, what an amazing lore fucking thing! Fuck me.
The stag races are put on by Jenny's girls, but they just value their integrity too much to rig their own races. So if you can set this up for Archie and her compatriots, they will be terribly grateful. Jenny won't get quite as much information as she's used to getting, and you will have yourselves some informants. The race is on at the stadium at the end of the week. You have a little bit of planning time.
Right. The way I see it... Hang on, that's not my voice. Right. Well, the way I see it, we've got two separate ways to go about it. We can either sabotage the other beetles, the other stags along the way, or we can give one of the stags that we want to win an unfair advantage. Now, myself, I'd be leaning towards the latter, because it seems easier to give one an unfair advantage, like, I don't know, wheels or something, as opposed to sabotaging the entire field. What do y'all think?
Do you think that if you had wheels, it would make you faster in a race?
Why are you asking me? I would be faster. Race.
Because you're the only
Careful now.
non-bipedal creature here, and I think that you might be slightly overestimating how useful that would be in a racing situation. Also, how subtle it would be.
I don't follow. I had wheels once. I got on a mighty skateboard and I was pretty damn fast.
That's canon. Give it artwork immediately.
Was that going downhill by any chance?
I can't remember.
Sounds like it probably was, to be honest.
Fine, well, wheels was an idea.
I will say I've never been to one of these races, so I really don't know anything about them.
Absolute bullshit. There's absolutely no way that whatever his character's name is, Randall, has not been...
Maybe he just doesn't remember. Maybe he never watched the race when he went there. That's the sort of thing that would make sense. So would have been at the event of one, but then not
But
bothered
spent your whole
to-
time at the
oh,
members bar.
Exactly, yeah.
Too busy being seen there.
While Nanny's around with the groundlings yelling at the sides and waving her ticket.
How many beetles partake?
Oh, millions.
Millions of beetles.
5 beetles. Ours is the People's Passion. That's the one I'm telling all my friends to bet on, because they have the longest odds.
I feel like sabotaging 4 is significantly easier than...
Well, here's my thought. This is gonna take away some resources from Jenny's girls. We are trying to get in good with Jenny's girls. We don't want to be found out as being involved with this. So I think what we need to do is ever so slightly sabotage 4 of them and ever so slightly give a bit of a advantage to People's Passion. Softly, riggy racy.
I feel like there's a training montage coming on.
Does anyone know anything about beetles?
I should also point out that the other gags all also have a horse in this race.
I don't understand, sorry. You said that as if it was a joke.
Yes, I understand that elsewhere on the continent they race other animals, some of which are known as
No, they don't.
horses.
No,
Not something
no
I
one-
know
no
anything
one
about.
races horses in the world. Sorry.
There's that Aaron Law shooting me down
Yeah.
again.
Now, obviously the best thing about these stag races is that I'm assuming the whole track is like a velodrome where they kind of go slightly up on the walls.
Oh, that's way cooler than what I had in mind. Yeah, they do that.
No, it's not. That is exactly what you had in mind now. Okay, that's fine.
Oh, Ralph, that was exactly what I had in mind.
There we go. That doesn't affect anything I'm thinking of. I just thought it was cool.
Well, I'm glad we got that out now before I describe what the track looks like.
it seems to me that to make this bug better, we gotta know about beetles, right? Like, we've got to know what to do and what they eat and what they like and stuff. Whereas sabotaging the other ones, you sabotage everything basically the same. That doesn't require any specialist knowledge.
Well, fortunately for us, I happen to be well acquainted with a certain beetle wrangler by the name of Reginald. It's just Reginald and then a long pause. Reginald and I go way back. Reginald Longpaws, yes, that's his name. And he and I go way back. And, he's a beetle wrangler. He's quite out of the game now. He's a nasty drunk, but I'm sure I could go find him and ask him some tips. And the other thing I thought of was I do remember hearing a rumor about beetles having a certain propensity for various tranquilizers and other narcotics at the top. And Randall, I do happen to know that you are a partaker of such liberties, and I wonder whether we might be able to juice up our little people's passion, make it a little fruity in time for the race.
Uppers and downers, you think?
Mostly uppers, I would say, if we want to win the race.
Uppers for the good one, downers for the bad ones.
You want to consort with your beetle wrangler friend?
I'm not sure that consort is the word I would use to describe such an activity. I would much prefer to use the term
skirmish.
I'd like to have a friendly brawl with him while he talks to me about his knowledge.
I would much prefer to use the term command or sway. No, I'll make a consort roll if you like. I doubt it would be
it's up to you. You decide what to roll, as long as it's not completely ridiculous.
Sway is very much sway someone with charm logic.
If you're telling him to tell you information, then it's command. If you're swaying him, I might hazard a guess that you would be using the sway action.
I think Tay uses the sway action all the time. I think she thinks she's charming all the time.
Give me that roll.
I want it to be recorded in the podcast. That is a 6, my good
friends.
friends.
It's the biggest number you can get.
So with a 6, you get exceptional details. The information is complete, and follow-up questions may expand into related areas or reveal more than you hoped for. So I think when you find Reginald in whatever watering hole you know he frequents, he greets you warmly and happily. And, Tay, come in, have a drink. Come on, I've always wanted to buy you a beer. Come on, sit down. Oh, maybe don't sit down. Maybe stand up next to the...
I can sit. Why couldn't I sit, Reginald? Are you making a horse-based pun?
Buy me that drink. I was trying to be... What do you want to drink? I'll buy you anything, my love.
Buy me what you know I used to drink all the time.
Of course.
It's a bucket of piss.
Your bucket is placed on the bar, and
and Tay just plunges her head into it.
Please, can that not be canon?
One very weak lager in a bucket, please, for the lady to bury her face in.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Reginald. You've always been so kind to me. I was thinking this week about getting involved in the stag racing kind of ways, and maybe raising my own stag and competing. And if there was anyone that knew anything about stag racing, it was you. So I thought I'd come to learn what's what about how to raise up and how to give my own stag an advantage. And, the sort of things to watch out for, the kind of things that might lead your stag to be at a disadvantage, perhaps, if you catch my drift.
Of course. Well, the most important thing with stag racing is to get yourself a good stag. There is no saving a bad stag. If you've got bad breeding, there is nothing you can do for it. It is a goner. You might as well send them off to the slaughterhouses, because they are... you don't want to be saddled with a bad stag.
And how perchance, how individual and unique do these stags appear to the naked eye? Would one be able to maybe swap one out if one had been purchased a stag of limited quality, as you so suggest?
Oh, we're getting into that kind of business, are we? Yeah.
Well, you know, Reginald, I'm just a sweet lady with blonde hair that likes a bucket of piss.
They are functionally identical, of course. That's why the teams... I mean, you've seen stag racing. They paint them all their own colours. So, I suppose if you were going to try and be dodgy about it, you'd have to work something out there.
Interesting. Well, and what about the rest of my questions about giving a stag an advantage and, all the sort of information I'd expect to get from rolling a 6 on the test? Something a bit juicier than you're fucked.
Well, I suppose if I was looking to fix a stag race...
Well, let's not use the word so plainly in public.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought that was the direction we were going. Okay, well, let's hypothetically imagine that that's what we were going to do. I would want to slip Mickeys to the favourites. I'd want to load the saddles of the ones we don't want to win. Give our beast the Pegasus pills. Go so far as to poison the jockeys if you were particularly adventurous. And maybe bribe the officials. Those are the sort of things I would think of that might come up in a hypothetical stag race fixing event.
I knew you were the right person to come to, Reginald. I knew it, I did. Hey, barkeep, let's keep another... let's keep the drinks flowing for my dear friend Reginald on there.
More piss! More piss! More piss!
And Tay guzzles down the piss and leaves. Much like the real Taylor Swift. Cut that.
I'd also like to gather a little information, if possible.
Of course. You're going to have to give me more than that to go on, though.
What Kuza is doing to gather information, Kuza would like to scout out the racetrack with the cover story of wanting to place a bet and wanting to gather a bit of information about the stags before he does so. So I want to try and...
Which is not entirely a lie.
It's not entirely a lie.
It's just not got the intention.
Someone might want to check out...
You could probably get that information from a newspaper. So I can give you, the names of the stags, potentially, so you know what to expect and what their rough odds are? Or are you looking for a bit more than that?
What I was looking to do, really, was gather info to locate a target, because then I get an extra dice, but I guess it's not really locating. No, I guess what I was picturing was sort of, trying to talk to the beetle grooms to kind
trainers.
The beetle trainers to kind of get a sense of who they are as beetles. Which one has the heart of a champion.
They all have
while pursuing this train of inquiry, you would quickly find out that all 5 are owned by very different trainers.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be a lot of effort to go around each of them. And I don't know if I've got 5 voices in the tank.
That's fair. Okay, well then I would look in the newspaper, find out who's the favourite to win, and I'd seek that one out.
Sorry, which newspaper are you looking in?
The Gazette.
The Gazette.
The City Gazette, yeah. Well known, much beloved.
The big UG.
Filthy tabloid. Okay, so you would look up the stag race in the Undercity Gazette. You would flip to the where are the sports racing pages on a newspaper? At the back, aren't they?
I think they're normally at the back.
On the back. Okay. You would find the 5 stags.
I'd tear out some of the more lascivious comic strips for later perusal. And then...
I thought you were going to say for Tay.
The stags in the race which you are concerned with are Saran Stew, which is sort of middle of the road. Castelliat is one of the favourites. Sherbet is another favourite. Grace of Arena is probably not going to be placing top 3. And then People's Passion is just vastly agreed to probably not even make it to the starting line. So that's what you'd get for free without any kind of roll.
Jack, have you got something to share with the group?
I had a question. Can we bet on this race? If we fix it, can we put all our coin on this beetle as well?
That would be dishonest, wouldn't it, to bet on a race that we fixed?
That would give the game away too much. It would be too obvious that there was a massive fix if you suddenly dropped like 6 coin on like a month's worth of income from a medium-sized business suddenly gets dropped on
First
the least
off,
favourite.
we are not a medium-sized business.
No, that's what you scrape together over like
that's
5 scores.
All right, well, we go out, we do it, we split our money, we give money to people, put them on it, and we take a cut.
I don't know that many people.
Yeah, right, that's heat, isn't it? Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, our cut is getting a network of informants, I think.
I think you could probably put a little bit of money so that maybe you'd make a coin or 2 if this comes through in first place.
I mean, that's only like putting on like half a coin, isn't it? Half a coin's worth.
Yeah, under a coin we don't really sort of concern ourselves with. So maybe
No, but as
you
in
put enough
to
small
get to
change on it,
make
you
the
get a little
equivalent
bit more.
of a
Yeah.
few coin, you know? Because
Yeah.
it's such long odds, as you talked about.
Mm.
We could even drop a penny on because people know that we're associates. We could even drop a penny on something else as well, so that we're not all going for the same thing and it looks like it's deliberate.
What do we think you are? What do you think we are? Organised and
No, at no point would they describe us as organised.
we could fuck over the 2 favourites, as in the actual Beatles, and then poison the 2 jockeys of the other Beatles.
With hagfish. Bad hagfish.
There's no such thing as good hagfish, is there?
Stags absolutely love hagfish. They would be all over a bucket of hagfish.
That is the common. That is the really
Stags love their hags.
Are we able to source bad hagfish?
Oh, it's no problem. It is everywhere in the
Oh, wait,
sea.
other question. Are we able to source good hagfish?
No.
Can we work out where the food is sourced from?
Ooh, I think that would be you might be able to do.
Whoa. Randall, I would say if you're going to be doing something, Randall, you should be looking for these Pegasus pills, as I feel like that's much more of your...
I already got them. Nice.
Yes. How do you think I get up in the morning?
Yeah, that doesn't require any... I guess I should just in character voice. No, I have them. I have them.
Wait, your name's...
No, it fucking isn't.
Episode 15 reveal. You've been listening to our podcast for over a year.
Oh my God.
Bambi's name ain't Bambi.
Well, you know, of course, we've got a couple of Pegasus pills laying around, you know. You never know when you might need a little bit perking up. Me especially, I mean, the amount of downers I'm on. But yes, perhaps I think it would be better if we found out, where they source their food from, if we could somehow intercept and replace their food delivery with something a little bit less ideal for a racing animal.
That might be something we save for the score itself rather than the gather information.
But we want to know where they get it from. We want to gather the information as to where they source their food from.
Yeah, Tove.
All right, fine. Roll. Tell me what you're doing. Action roll.
Also, hang on. Kuza, did you ever actually roll for it?
No, we kind of skipped over it.
Did you actually gather information?
It was just reading the newspaper.
You just got free information.
I was reading the newspaper to find out who the favourite was, and then I was gonna, go and investigate the favourite. So, could I convince you that, seeking out the favourite, the one whose name began with C?
Yeah, I don't know what roll I need to make, but I've looked at the ones that I think it might be, and I don't want to roll
I feel
any
like
of them.
Bambi is angling to get in front of me.
It's because you were.
And
It's
it was
because
my turn.
you spoke for a long time, and now you're going to sit and listen.
No, I spoke a bit a long time ago, and then everyone spoke at once.
Your character read the newspaper. Be happy he's not taking any stress.
Ralph, do you have any hunt?
Yeah, I've got really good hunt, and I was just about to try an angle to use it.
Okay. From what Randall said, can you action that with a dice roll as well?
Yeah, don't do your thing. Don't do your thing. Don't have any kind of roleplay on your own. Just can you roll for what I've said?
This all comes into one.
No, I think
in finding out where the favourite is, you'll probably find its food source.
Yeah.
So the scene is Kuza's looking through the newspaper. He kind of, with a meaty, hairy finger, he points at the name.
Meaty, hairy fingers. That's the name of our gang from now on.
It's going on the soundboard.
He points at the name. His eyes light up. Aha! He has a plan. He puts on his fez. He puts on his coat. He opens the door. Randall appears and says, "I say, dear chap, would you mind?"
Just belay that.
If you could just also find out where they're sourcing their food from and how that's delivered as part of your investigation, that would be fantastic. Thank you.
As well.
Yeah. Just on top of it, you know?
Yeah, all right.
Why
I'll have a hunt around.
It's not a roll that I'm going to make.
I've got 2 dots in hunt.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
Delegation.
get an extra one for seeking
But what
a
does
target?
it even fucking matter, Ralph? Like, literally, what is it? I had 1, rolls a 6. You got 2, you roll like 2 1s. What does it even fucking matter?
Sit down.
I am. Look, he's gonna get his meaty, hairy fingers. He's gonna roll like a 3.
I've got to say, Jack, I'm not appreciating this attitude from you.
The attitude's not for you, it's for the listener. Conflict.
Well, I just don't think it's very entertaining to hear one person just be sort of relentlessly sarcastic and mean to one other member of the cast for no real reason, but just seems to really have it out for them.
Possibly listening to the wrong podcast.
I got a 1 and a 2 and a 5.
Oh, yes.
5, please.
There was a 5 in there. Okay, so that's quite good, right? Standard. You get good details. Clarifying and follow-up questions are possible, right? You are investigating the favourites, correct? Which
I was investigating, specifically...
there are 2 favourites. It's...
Yeah, but you said it was probably only practical to do 1, so I will go after...
Castellito.
I said it was impractical to do 5. I'll let you do the 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool.
Castelliat,
That's the one.
you find, is the stag that the Regency are backing. And you know that through your hunting around, seeing the logistical movements within the city, is fed on only the finest of canned hagfish, and that is only opened sort of when it's about to go into the beetle. It's not like something you think you'd be able to sabotage. At least not outside of the track.
Or outside of the cannery, right?
Or outside the cannery. Sherbet is the stag which is backed by Jenny's girls, is also fed on canned hagfish. Not quite so fine, but also presents the same issues about getting access to the food in that you can't really tamper with a can.
Can you not?
No, that's what they just said.
You can't.
Presumably they get fed in a fucking, I don't know, trough thing that suits their majestic stag faces.
And it's horrifying to look at, I tell you.
Wait, what was that? One more time?
I think was...
Anyone else like to gather any information?
Who are the officials? What are the officials?
Yeah, you might be able to work that one out, Randall. You might be the best placed person to know these people. You probably wouldn't know them off the top of your head because if you've ever been to one of these races, you've been drunk, as we established earlier.
Randall scratches his head thinking, where would officials for races live? And he just has all these hazy memories and he really can just think of nothing. And And that's that. That's Randall gathering information.
Oh,
He walks into his local crack den,
Mm-hmm.
and he says, "Does anyone know any race officials?" Loudly. That sounds like a Randall thing to do.
From far away, you hear someone say, "Shut up!"
Righto. Walks out.
Oh, well done. The first step is...
No. Focus on the task at hand. So he has some old friends that I think he used to spend more time with when he was,
Richer.
like still with his family, still richer. So they don't really hang anymore because they don't really like him, and he doesn't really like them. But literally failing to think of anything else, he's going to approach them and ask what they know about the upcoming race, because he remembers that they were like really into it, which is why he might have been there, but he was never really present in the races themselves. So
Okay, Randall's old chums is their name.
yeah, exactly. And I feel like it would be a consort.
I would agree with you.
And I think his approach would be pretending like he's on the straight and narrow, trying to take an interest in, the finer things of life. It's like he's found a new interest. He's really focusing on his sport and his gambling.
This old chestnut.
Yeah, as a positive expression of his addictive personality.
Mm-hmm.
Which
because gambling is so much healthier than...
Exactly. And they're just like, good. Finally, that's a kind of healthy addiction that we can get behind.
That's, socially acceptable.
Okay. Nice. So again, I don't think it's an intimate relationship because, as I described, we don't really like each other. So
yeah, you've.
That's been really good. The trust in me has been really good. It's a 6.
Oh, they are just surprised to see you, and Randall, it's so good to see you, old friend. Come in, sit down.
My God, it's been a while, hasn't it? Covering his arms, like it's,
my months. You're not off the wagon, are you? Are you? How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing absolutely fantastic. Haven't been on the old stuff in time, really. Absolute time.
Oh, wonderful news! Now, what brings you back to this region of town?
Well, I've really been trying to focus my mind on things, get interests, explore them, and the stag racing is really fascinating me recently. I remember
yes, top shelf. Oh, if you really want to get into that, you want to talk to old what's his name? Alabaster. Yes, Alabaster. He's one of the officials in the
yes,
in the running up one. And what was the other one? Yes, Drongo Benshi the 15th, I believe, is an old high elf fellow who he would be, another friendly official to speak to for us. And then there's 3 others, I think. Yes, those 2 would be the main ones for us.
Oh, well, where might I find them before the race if I wanted some, more in depth information?
Oh well, with yourself, you could come along with us. We usually have a little bit of a chinwag and rub our elbows with them in the grandstand before the race begins. Sort of cheer on old Alabaster and Drongo, and spit in the drinks of the other 3.
Absolutely wonderful. Yes. I'm sure I'll be along. What time is that?
Top notch. He tells you the time.
It's not too early, is it?
Oh God, kind of having to apply
in this fantasy land, I'm worried about things being about a made-up character, maybe sleeping in and missing the.
This has already happened.
Who schedules a race first thing in the morning?
True. Middle of the afternoon. Ah, yes,
Oh,
yes.
you mean like right? I completely misunderstood that. Yeah.
Should just about make it. Should just about be there. You know, keep busy.
Yes, of course. And Reginald, sorry, not Reginald. Randall. Since you rolled a 6, if you were to ask a follow-up question to perhaps press me on the names of the other 3 judges, I might just
there are
remember
3
them.
more.
Yes, there's the 2
yes,
that
and,
are
sorry,
friendly
what-
to us folk.
Yes, and the other 3. What were their names? Just you know. Just in case.
There were 2 that rubbed their shoulders with bloody Jenny's girls. Those bunch of slatterns. What were their names?
Yes. Disgusting.
Let me think. Seamus, I think one of their names was Seamus Fem. That's right. And then there
Shameless?
was Seamus.
Oh, sorry. It's just you know.
He might as well be Seamus. Hanging out with Jenny's girls.
Yes.
And the other one, the other Jenny's girl, Perf Saxville Miller. I think that one's name was.
Mind blown! Seamless lore! Amazing storytelling! And more in Of Dice and Then!
And the final, of course, how could I forget? Neutrality Jones, a little tiefling girl who, well, not a girl, I imagine she's a young woman, but yes,
Not a
she
girl.
refuses to bend to the whims of any of the crews that try to put pressure on her. If you can convince her one way or the other, that would be a show.
Oh, yes. No, well, you know, I'm purely interested in the spectacle of it all, you know.
Of course, yes, probably not the best diversion for yourself to be taking up gambling, but not to comment. But I'm glad to see you out and about.
I mean,
Anyway, you've exhausted my dialogue tree now, so we can perhaps bring this to a close, and we'll see you there.
Randall just wants to fight for someone passing judgment on him, to be honest. Like, it's just-
So we are left with Gecko having not gathered any information. If there's anything you think this other tiefling girl might be able to piece together.
I'm
The only other thing on my list would be locations.
Yeah, so that's basically with my line of thinking. I guess whatever we end up doing, we're going to want to do it out of view. Gecko's main role in this group is kind of sneaking around things and trying to do things out of sight. So I guess perhaps she's gone with Kuza, but split off from him at some point. She wants to sort of look around the staging area before the race begins and find out if there's any like good hiding places or storerooms
Where deliveries come in.
Like rafters.
Follow the hagfish.
Rafters that she can sit on and watch things go by or whatever. Yeah, so that they know what a good vantage point is, or an escape route if they've got to do anything immediately before the race.
What are you doing to find this information? There was some kind of verb that you could read from your character sheet.
Verbs. Ugh. Hate verbs. Probably some sort of probably like prowl about, you know?
Oh, do a little prowl. Oh, yeah, that
Do
sounds
a little
good.
prowl around.
I haven't thought of the name of the stadium, so I'm just going to be calling it the Stadium.
That is the name.
The Stadium. It's the only stadium in the Undersea.
The Beetle Bowl.
what's the name of the hagfish cannery?
Mike's Canned Hagfish.
Mike's Canned Hagfish Stadium is the sponsor.
Oh yeah, quite often stadiums are named after their sponsors. Yes. Max Canned Hagfish Stadium.
But the locals just call it the Beetle Bowl because that's a good name.
No, the locals call it the Canned Beetle. Wow, cool.
No, sorry, Jack.
They call it the
Carry on.
Beetle Bowl.
The silence
Okay,
is
I'm
I'll go back to silence. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
gonna roll 2 dice for a prowl roll. That's a 5 and a 1. I'll have a 5.
Good choice. Good choice.
5. So you successfully penetrate the outside of the Beetle Bowl. Once you're in, you are able to make your way through the entrance plaza, and it is like deserted. No one comes to the Beetle Bowl during the week when there's not a race on. You're able to make note of the entrance plaza leading towards the jockey's enclosure, which leads to the stag stables and the tack room. The track is plainly visible in the centre of the bowl. On the other side of the stadium is the grandstand, where you would imagine the richest and most well-to-do members of the audience will be congregating. And in the grandstand, you can see the judges' box, where the judges will be congregating to make their judgments.
And where do the Beatles go before the race? Where do they get kept?
They will probably be delivered to a space which is like directly outside the stables, so that they don't have too far to be led.
Yeah, that's
It's
what I
like
would assume.
a private delivery entrance.
Because I assume if there's any funny business with switching stuff or doing things to food or whatever else, it's going to be there.
Yes, you see the 5 stalls? Stalls for the stags, which is in the stable, led off from the jockey's enclosure.
And is that the only way in? I assume there's obviously a way out onto the track.
Yeah, I think the sort of service delivery entrance would be a way in. Otherwise, it would be through the jockey's room, or there's a small window in the tack room.
The three doors and one window. Okay. Oh, good to know.
Shall we move on to an engagement roll, perhaps? Do we have a plan?
That seems unlikely. Seems very unlike us.
I don't know why I asked.
Okay, so I guess we all convene, and I would say, well, to be honest, despite gathering information, I still don't really know anything about beetle racing, stag racing, whatever it is. I think that the easiest, simplest way of rigging this race is threats of physical violence against the officials. Keep it simple. We've got muscle for days. I just get round there and threaten to break their legs if they don't make our stag win.
I'm on it. I love that idea.
Yeah, but officials must be used to being threatened and bribed and stuff all the time. Like, what can we do to make our threat or bribe better than other ones? Like, they live in the Undercity and do stag races. They must be taking every threat in the book.
That might also make our involvement in the whole process somewhat obvious.
Yeah, and I did have a chat to an old pal of mine, Reginald, which I told you all about, and one of the things he was talking about really made me think, because at the end of the day, no matter what you do, our stag has got to win for us to get the money. And how much would the officials, you want to just make sure they turn a blind eye to what's our proceedings? Is that your plan?
No, I was just hoping that they would do everything for us. If we threatened them hard enough, they would rig it on our behalf.
Oh,
So they rig it because we said we're supposed to be rigging it, and then we're rigging it because other people. So because Archie doesn't want to rig it, and Archie doesn't want to rig it because Jenny's girls don't. So yeah, it's a rigging dominoes.
I think we might be able to bribe them or intimidate them to turn a blind eye to what is otherwise a fairly fixed race. But beyond that, I'm not sure the officials would be much involved.
How much does one of these bugs cost? Where'd you get them from?
1 coin.
Oh, 2 coin for a decent one, definitely.
No, I don't.
3
want
maybe.
I don't want a decent one. I want a shit one.
Well, you've got a shit one already.
No, but because Tay told us all about her conversation with her friend, and I've obviously paid attention to every single detail, while she regaled us exactly with the conversation that she had. So they said that it all was down to breeding, and that you couldn't do anything if you had a bad one. So if we got some shit ones and replaced the good ones with the shit ones, and painted them with the same colours as the good ones, then it wouldn't matter what if they got the fancy food and the good jockeys and stuff, because they said that if they were bad at breeding, then
I just want to point out,
yeah,
a couple of days ago,
yeah,
when I suggested that we break into the dress shop to help with breaking into the jewellery store, everyone said that was a shit idea. And now you're suggesting we break in to 4 stables, replace 4 fucking beetles. I'll do it if that's the plan, but it's a shit plan.
Gecko, I think that is a wonderful idea, and that is exactly what we should do. That is inspired. I think that
Tell you what, there's 4 of us. We'll each take 1 each, shall we?
Why not? I think that works perfectly. 4 beetles to replace and 4 of us to replace them.
I'm not breaking into anywhere.
Fine, I'll do 2.
What about, so, one of the officials is a tiefling, you know? Like, what about if we kidnap her and replace her with Gecko?
because...
Or
Wait, so hang
is
on.
one of the jockeys a tiefling?
Oh, is that right? I thought it was the
No,
officials.
I haven't said anything about the jockeys.
But surely one of them's a tiefling. Small in stature.
Surely, Tove.
Wiry.
Is this a question? Are we gathering this information?
Oh yeah, we didn't find anything about the jockeys, did we?
No,
Sorry,
no.
you want to put Gecko in a situation where she has to lie and ingratiate herself with
Exactly.
officials?
No, I want to put you in a position where you have to ride a beetle badly.
That I would like to see, and I can imagine it would be much better than trying to officiate this circumstance.
Well,
Also,
no,
they'll have a hat on.
Look, I can be there. I can go with these people I used to hang around with, and if anything requires a lie, I can just lie on your behalf.
What do you mean?
Be my
What do you
minder.
mean? What do you think turning up with a bunch of people that are bet on is somehow going to save us in any kind of way when it comes to trying
And
to win
say,
this race?
hello, former friends. I have to do all the talking for this official now. She's lost her voice and has asked me to talk for her.
See, she's known as neutral, so maybe as part of her neutrality, she's incredibly silent.
What are you talking?
Maybe
I just cannot get a. You know that Randall, that is the worst idea since fucking Koozer said we should break into a dress shop.
So what I've done is I've come up with an idea that gets Gecko close to all of the beetles, and she doesn't need to lie. She doesn't need to talk. She's an official. She can just
Puts
huff
Gecko in
people
the
off.
spotlight. That is exactly the one place where we do not put Gecko.
Well, you know, she can put on the uniform, and people probably won't even look at her.
I feel like I should be offended.
That would fit nicely into the deception planning detail. So
And when no one's looking, Gecko can sneak around.
Yeah, but she could do that whether she was the official or not.
Yes, but this is an easier in.
I'm not sure it is an easier in because this in, instead of just sneaking in, we have to replace the person with Gecko.
Are you too
Yes.
weak? Are you too weak to kidnap
Well,
someone? Is that what you're telling me?
I wouldn't say that.
How are we going to replace this official? Oh, I don't know.
I just-
It's awful scary.
I'm just saying, I'm not sure we'll get away with it.
All we need to do is work out how we're getting in.
I think we've narrowed it down to deception. It feels like we just have to detail the method of deception, which unfortunately is rather big.
It's a matter of slight contention amongst the group.
Well,
Well, Randall
We can
will
all-
enter with the group of nobles. Everyone else can work out their own way in.
Hagfish delivery.
yeah,
That's my go-to.
we can have discussions about how it will work, but reality is, Gecko, do you want to try to impersonate an official to get in? That's what the crux is.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So you'll be able to get into, certainly, the entrance plaza for free. Like, that's public. You can get to the public stands without any kind of difficulty. So you can maybe steer
Wait, you
away
don't have
from
to pay
how do
to
we
get
get in. Oh, well, you can pay in, like, small change.
We still haven't really decided on, like, anything.
Well, yeah, no, it's just get in and wing it, right? That's get in and just flashback every like.
We haven't flashbacked for ages.
Well, we're not in the score yet.
Exactly. But when we're in the score, I'll flash back to Tay winning the argument, and then I'll do it my way.
Ah.
And then I'll flash back, just pettily, just pettily,
Yeah, that's
To-
as
to
I
make-
understand it.
to make
That
Tay
is
look like a
Blades in the
fool.
Dark.
Yeah,
That is Blades in the Dark.
I like it.
So Kuza's doing something with Hagfish.
Oh, yeah.
I think Gecko is going to replace all 4 beetles with other painted beetles.
That would rely on us having other beetles.
Have we considered that the Beatles are not going to be alone at all for the entire time,
I haven't considered much, if I'm honest with you.
and that Gecko might need a sort of disguise to get close to them? Yeah, just.
I mean, like an official.
You know what? Actually, now you say that, that's a fucking great idea.
What are you supposed to do? Like, kidnap an official?
Oh, God.
Alright, fine, we'll kidnap an official, fine. We'll place the official with Gecko.
So we're going with deception, and the method is replace.
No, we're doing all of it. We're doing all of it. And I will seduce the remaining beetle.
I'm not sure whether to take away dice or give you dice for this being particularly bold or daring, or for the fact that there are 4 different plans that could happen.
I mean, I'm just walking in. I need to roll the dice, right?
Yeah, because your plan all the time is come up with some ridiculous thing and be like, well, I'm not doing any of it. I'm just going to wander in and shout. When it comes to it, I'll just roll
I'm
the
so
dice.
fucking charismatic. I'll just get work.
Yeah,
It's fine.
I'll roll 2 dice and then they'll both be 6s and we'll win anyway. We don't
I'm
have
going to
that
roll an
luxury.
engagement roll without a particular plan, and then as things happen on the day, we're going to then flash back to what we're actually... Because there are lots of different things you could do to advance your goals here. You could all just go and do different things.
We've got our options open.
You got 3 different types of drug that you're playing.
Right. I'm going to go in with 2 lots of canned hagfish, both of which are laced with the downers, and I'm going to deliver those to the 2 front runners. That's my plan.
Deception. The method of deception is pretend to be a delivery driver. That sounds good enough to me. Let's crack on with a roll and we'll see. Let's just start with Kuza trying to get in the service entrance and see how we do.
Oh, and obviously I'll kidnap the official.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll come back to that.
Details.
Like, the system relies on planning, and we're so bad at that.
It doesn't, though. It relies on improvising.
We should be skipping more planning, yeah. 2 3s, okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, the system is like, we do it, and then we flash back to having planned this.
Yeah, we work out how we're going to get in, and as it like unveils itself, we say, "Oh, wouldn't this be nice?" Oh, it can be.
It was.
So 3s give you a bad result, putting you in a desperate position when the action starts. I think
Excellent.
I think
everyone,
that's what we've planned for so far.
everyone rolls out, you're all embarking on your various ways. Kuza, since you were brave enough to actually give me a plan to go with, you arrive at the service entrance with 2 buckets of hagfish.
Okay.
There's no guard. So you wander in gradually, and once you've got both feet inside, a guard appears from behind you. Says, "Oi, what are you doing here? Who are you? What's this? What are you doing? Give me some ID. Come on, come on."
Go on.
He is a bulky human man holding a crossbow.
Go on.
I've got the hagfish delivery for the name of the beetle whose name I've unfortunately forgotten.
Oh, come on.
Sherbet.
I've got Sherbet's hagfish delivery.
And Catalos.
Castelliot.
Yeah, that's the one.
I knew it was something like
The
that.
cast of Billy Elliot.
Well, no, they have 2. If you'll remember, they have 2 different kinds of hagfish.
They
so
do.
I've hidden the other bucket
Where have you hidden the other bucket?
outside.
Okay.
I mean, first episode, he was carrying a bucket of hagfish in his coat, so...
True. You contain multitudes.
They've already been fed. I don't think we need any more hagfish. You, who you work for?
Jenny.
Yeah, that's a name I recognise as someone who has an interest in these stags. No,
Jenny was very particular that this bucket get delivered to this beetle.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know about you, I don't want to be on Jenny's bad side.
You think I'd be on her bad side if I let any old stranger come in and feed her stags? No, thank you very much. I think you'd better go, mate. And he starts to sort of square up to you a little bit.
Kill him.
It's desperate.
Any
You're in a
chance
desperate position.
Kill him.
Any chance I could attempt to have made that last statement a command?
Perhaps make the next statement a command and... I mean, roll, see how you
Well,
do. The command might not be very good.
What I just said.
6! Has it ever happened? Have you ever rolled a 6?
No, I had to count the dots to know what it was.
Not seen this strange symbol before. Yeah, it fucking works. What do you say?
You are going to let me through here, or Jenny is going to hear about it.
As you say that, he maybe sort of takes a little bit of a step back.
Jenny appears.
One of Jenny's girls appears out of the room that this man just appeared from and says, "Oh, yeah, well, you're not going to, stop Jenny from doing stuff, are you? No, come on, man, let's go back to cards." And he gives you another look up and down and says, "Yeah, all right then. If one of her girls vouches for you, you're all right." And they wander off back into the guard room.
That girl, Randall.
Kuza, you turn and you find yourself in the stables with the stags. You make your way down the line of stalls. You see the first one, Saren's Stew. You see the little labels on the gate at the front. This one's been painted red with 3 white stripes along the side, and it has a gold chain around its pronotum. A bit of beetle anatomy for you there. Next one along is Castelliat, who is painted in old-fashioned dynastic military rank insignias. Next one along, Sherbet, is painted with hot pink stockings on its legs. The last one, or the next one, Grace of Arena, is plain black, but with a holy symbol of the Underchurch painted on its back.
Fuck nuns.
And having a little look at People's Passion, you look in, and you see a stag on its back, perfectly motionless with its legs curled up in its stomach.
Oh, shit!
That is a twist that I didn't see coming. Which is our beetle is dead.
I wish I'd gathered this information, Summer!
Randall, you find yourself in the grandstand. It is a bustling and clearly wealthy audience around you. You actually see in one corner, you see Jenny herself and Tybalt Ponsonby, leader of the Regency, having a very heated but whispered conversation with each other in a corner booth. And it is ringed with guards, basically alternating Jenny's girl, Regency Mook, Jenny's girl.
Randall hates guards.
Jenny has, a beautiful exotic dancer sat next to her, and Tybalt looks rather alone on his side of the booth. But they are sort of pointing fingers at each other and seemingly whispering threats backwards and forwards. You also see 5 individuals casting your eye around the room, wearing top hats, and each of them are being sort of hounded by people speaking to each other. One of the top hat wearers, you swear it's Gecko. But you know where Gecko is, so this can't be Gecko.
Approach Gecko.
So you find a little bit of a lull in the conversation, and Gecko, turns around and looks you up and down, and...
Flashback!
Okay, flashback.
Okay, flashback. So, I flash back to sneaking into the little room where all of the judges hang out.
The
With
judge's box.
the judge's box, and I would have taken Randall, but I guess I'm with Tay because I've got to have some muscle.
Renowned for sneaky and subtle.
No, but I need a smooth talking fighty person, of which
That's
is
me.
one of you two, to come with me so that you can do all of the work, and then I will replace the person.
Okay, so you are hiding out in the judge's box waiting for neutrality to come in?
Yes.
It sounds like a lurk to me, or a prowl, whatever it's called.
Okay. Yeah.
Do I have to roll?
And if you make it a group action, you can be supported.
I can prowl. That's a prowl. That's the thing. That's the thing I can do.
Let's make it a group action, shall we? Seeing as how I'll be rolling 2 dice and taking the lower.
I take stress for group action, right?
Only for failures.
Okay.
I can't imagine that this isn't a stressful situation.
You take a stress for the flashback, at least.
Okay, so that's one. What? 1 or 2?
Let's see how it goes first.
Cool. I rolled a 3 and a 1.
Okay.
I rolled 2 5s.
Success with a consequence. So you take 1 stress for your failure, Gecko, if you didn't roll higher than a 3.
Yeah.
I'm
Cool.
going to say take 2 stress for the flashback, because this is a fairly big one.
Yeah. Awesome.
Can I just say at this point, hey, to date, not incurred any stress. Just FYI.
I mean, to be fair, it's very in character for Gecko to be the most stressed she's ever been when she's about to impersonate an official member. Yeah, that's that tracks.
Okay, so the other judges, I think, come and go, and this stress originates from you trying to keep a centaur hidden in a small room while people come and go.
Yep.
Centaur's doing a good job, man. The Centaur is doing a surprisingly good job.
And this is all Gecko. Gecko is running around, like, throwing a tablecloth over you and, like, getting you to sit very still. Seamus Femme comes in, a human with a bushy white beard who you know is going to be voting for Jenny's girls, Stag.
What do you mean voting?
Voting? Is it a race or not? What is the voting?
Or is it a democracy?
Why else would you have judges if they weren't going to vote on things?
To officiate.
I thought they were officials. They would saying that everything's above board.
Well, you see, I haven't gone into the full details of the rules around stag
Have
racing
you ever
because they
seen
are
a
so.
race?
I've seen horse racing, and I think I could make that more complicated in a fantasy world. It's like in boxing, there are judges who all vote on how many hits someone gets in. It's a bit like that, but in a race format. One of those judges comes in, somehow doesn't see the centaur in the room, comments on the fact that they don't normally have a table in the judge's box, and then leaves. The next person to come in is a small tiefling woman wearing a top hat who is well groomed and, surprisingly, the spitting image of Gecko. And this is a success for you, Tay, so I think over to you.
So Neutrality Jones comes in.
Neutrality Jones is in the room. She's the only person in the room other than Gecko and you.
And Gecko's somewhere just blending into the wallpaper or something.
There is a frame of a mirror in the corner, and you put that next to the door, and as the judge comes in, you then mimic her moves in every single way, and that's where all the stress is coming from.
That's why the stress is
That's
coming.
incredibly stressful. That sounds perfect. Yep. That's what I'm doing. Just random empty frame hanging around this judge's room. They use it in the photo booth. There's all there that they to do the picture for the Gazette the next day. There's loads of props and there's little paper medals that you can stick to your chest and all that kinds of stuff so that people can pretend that they won the stag race. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there for the after party.
So not only is Neutrality in the room with you, Tay, her back is turned as she interacts with what she thinks is her reflection.
Is this my glass?
And I'm desperately sort of like trying to be a mirror image, but also being like, hit her over the head. Hit her over the head. Tay!
Why? Neutrality, is that you? I'm so sorry for the deception. I just had to come in and see you, and had long loved you from afar, but hadn't had the chance to get up close. And someone said you'd be here, and I came in to surprise you. And this awful man came in saying how he was going to fix the races for Jenny's girls with a big, white, bushy beard. And I just felt so scared because I just wanted to come see you and maybe get your autograph and take you out for a drink later.
You realise she's holding a knife in her hand. When she span around, she drew a blade. But
well, that's fair.
Your mention of Seamus has maybe lowered her guard a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it is perfectly reasonable to have an offer. I can understand entirely. I'm just a big fan of yours, because what I don't like about the Undercity is the lack of integrity that people have, and something I've seen in the races with you is how I just feel like you really say what happened and have a real sense of dignity and integrity. And, well, I just wanted to come and say I'm your biggest fan, and I wanted to take you for a drink, but then I realized I kind of got stuck in here, and it's one of those key card doors where I got stuck on the inside because I tailgated in and I didn't know what to do, and I panicked, and I'm sorry. You must have this all the time with people coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Can you offer? Is there some sort of devil's bargain you could offer me of how I can hit at her over the head while Tay is distracting her?
Yeah, you could even push yourself and take some stress as well.
The thing is, I can't push myself.
Are you almost maxed out on stress?
Yes, I am.
Well, I mean, why not wait? Why not wait and see if Tay works? I mean, I'm just and I will push myself
Ooh.
to sway this person.
Sway away.
Sway away, sway away, sway away.
How'd it go, Jack?
Neither of them are more than one.
She lunges at you with the dagger and screams for the guards.
Cool.
Gecko, how we looking?
I wanted to hit her on the head.
Now would be the time to do it.
Yeah, okay, let's do that.
A devil's bargain. Anyone got a good one?
If you do it, she dies.
No, then there's ghosts involved. There's beetles and ghosts to deal with.
The ghost of a beetle. You get fucking haunted by people's passion.
We've already got one fucking haunting going on. I don't want...
It's alright, no one's mentioned that. I thought Tove's probably forgotten about it. I'd carry on.
Not today, anyway. It literally dunked you all in the canal the other day.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, that's a pretty good devil's bargain.
Yeah. The other thing was that you managed to get her, but not before she gets me.
I feel like we floated the she dies card now. It would be a bit cowardly to back out of that. I think she dies if you don't succeed on a skirmish roll.
Well, skirmish. I know that that is Gecko's fucking primo.
I mean, what else? Wreck? Are you wrecking her skull?
I mean, not gonna lie, Tove, I got 0 in both, so I can do it. So I will be doing. So it doesn't really matter what I'm doing. It's a desperate
it has to be a devil's
act.
bargain because you can't. If you max out your stress, you can't take any more action rolls this score, and we might need you to do that later. So.
It's not great for me either, guys. Like, I've got 2 stress now.
Fuck off, Jack. So I roll 2 dice and take the lower.
No, because you are taking the devil's bargain to get another dice. You're rolling one die.
Oh.
1 die. Hopefully it's 0 die.
Or it's 1. It's 1. It's definitely a fail.
It can't be a 1.
It's a 2.
It's a 2!
So between us, we've rolled 3 dice, and we've gotten nothing better than a 2.
Yeah.
In your keyed up, stressed out state, you lash out with a kosh that you produced from your pocket, and Newt hits the deck like a ton of bricks and doesn't move.
Fuck, now I'm a fucking murderer.
What'd you do that for? I had it under control.
You hear the distant toll of the spirit bell.
Oh, what? Why did you do that, Gecko?
This is why I didn't want to impersonate an official.
I agree. I don't think that was a good plan. We should never have done it, but it was Randall's plan, so take it up with him. What I don't understand, Gecko, is why you felt the need to kill her.
I wasn't trying.
Oh, you are stronger than you look. Now, I guess let's replace her clothes with your clothes and your clothes with her clothes. And...
Oh, God. Oh, if I'm dead, does that mean the nuns will stop trying to kill me? That'd be good.
Yes, I think that's a great plan. 2 birds, 1 stone. We dress her up, and I'll take the body out somewhere and present it to the nuns. Say, hey, look, I found this little weirdo that you guys were facing. I found her in a bathtub of someone else's house, so I know it was her.
Okay, yeah. All right, let's do that.
Are you okay? You look very stressed.
The flashback ends. Randall, you are shaking hands with the most stressed out tiefling you have ever seen.
Good job on getting here. Gives her a wink.
It's gonna be a good race. love those beetles.
Give her one of the downers. Give her a Valium. Give her a Diazepam.
Randall, we didn't decide loads, but Randall's light. Let's be honest.
You always get light. Everyone else decide now.
So Randall reaches into his pocket, takes out some Valium.
Fantasy Valium.
Here, I think you better take one of these. And tries to, without anyone seeing, because... Oh, no, actually, sorry. Goes to shake hands. Say, oh, absolutely, top. Spiffing.
No words. You're the smooth guy. Absolutely top.
He's just so in awe to be meeting a famous neutral judge like Neutrality Jones.
The neutral judge.
Can't believe the Gecko went through with it. It's just a little bit shocked. After being lambasted.
Is there anything else you want to do in the grandstand while you're here, Randall? Because your turn was taken up entirely by the longest flashback the world has ever seen.
It was good, though, wasn't it?
It was good.
So, is Lorenzo here?
No.
Oh, fuck.
Get fucked.
I mean, Jenny's here. You don't need both your captains.
Yeah, true. Just maybe take his group of ex-friends, and move them over towards Jenny. So he goes up to the and says, I see that guard there. I think I know him. I'm pretty sure he's incredibly allergic to this. Pulls out another powdered drug. Says it's
I'm beginning to think you maybe haven't given the stuff up as you said you had, Randall.
No. I just I still have them on me, but it's just
flour.
It's just useful. Just go blow this in his face, and it'll be the most hilarious thing you've ever seen. Trust me, it's gas. It's absolute gas.
Yeah, okay, I went from what the fuck is wrong with you, you're an idiot, to that is exactly how people at the races work. I went from why would he do that to that is I've seen that happen.
And is that a command? So just choose the
command.
weakest person in the room, in the group, and let's just go for it. I haven't worked out where this is going yet, but 5.
Ooh, mixed success.
What? 5 is a mixed success?
Yeah,
Yep.
4 or 5 is a success with consequence. Consequences, he is allergic to it. He dies.
That wasn't my fault, though. I didn't.
God.
Yeah,
I didn't
that
sneeze
poor
it in
guy
his
gets
face.
haunted.
So the way this plays out, I think you manage to win the other members of the friendship group around, and they're all sort of like clapping, going, "Do it, do it, do it, do it!" And the young guy goes up and sort of coughs it into this poor guard's face, and he chokes on the flower and sort of staggers back, and it turns out not to be allergic to this random powder you pulled out of your pocket, but he does
But
take
the
a
guard
swing
club
at the guy.
that guy to death.
Not to death. He does club him in the face, and your friends all sort of. There's a bit of a ripple goes around. Says, "Bloody hell, Randall! This is a bit more than we signed up for."
Oh, no. Does it cause a commotion?
Yeah, there's a bit of a commotion. There's a little bit of a.
Does the guard twatting this guy in the face?
Can Randall take the opportunity to slink into the chair with Ponsonby and Jenny?
I think so, but I think you're taking a couple of stress for your as a consequence for your friends turning
that's
on
fine.
you again.
There's no stress. There's no stress really.
Why are you trying to sit next to him?
In the depth of your heart, you're like, well, there goes. I nearly had them back, but no, off they go. Okay, you sit down in the booth next to a beautiful exotic dancer, Jenny the Egg, and Tybalt Ponsonby. And what's Kuza up to?
Oh yeah, Kuza's here.
Wait, I haven't done anything. Kuza's done something.
You were in the flashback. No, go on. Okay, yeah, what are you
You
up
were
to?
there. You witnessed the murder I did.
I think I'm carrying a body away. I think that's what I'm doing, right? Is that what I'm doing? I don't know.
You've got a tablecloth and on your back, and I don't know your character. Where is she? I don't keep track of her.
I don't. What are we gonna do? Out of character, I'm beseeching you all for genuine help. What are we gonna do about the fact that our beetle is fucking dead?
Don't worry, I got it handled.
Haven't
Okay,
seen
you got that handled.
haven't seen that happen. Might just be sleeping.
Kuza, what are you doing?
So, the two front runners,
Mm-hmm. Castelliat and Sherbet.
one of them has complex ancient heraldic symbols all over it.
Yes.
What did Sherbet have? Sherbet just had like pink stockings, right?
Yep. That's exactly what Sherbet
Okay.
has. Pink legs.
Right. So I'd like to tick off some load.
Yep.
Pink paint.
And I'm wondering if perhaps as part of some subterfuge supplies might include like coloured chalks for marking houses and that sort of thing.
You are justifying this. I would have allowed you just to have paint because you knew that this was a possibility.
I have paint. I have pink paint of the exact shade required. I also have some paint thinner, which I would like to use to remove the paint from lovely old Sherbet, and apply the same pattern of paint to our dearly deceased People's Champion.
People's passion.
Doesn't matter, he's dead
The
now.
clapped out old nag that's in the end stall.
The pile of chitin in the end stable. That's what I would like to do.
That all sounds pretty reasonable, to be honest. I think...
Doubt you even need to roll.
I don't know, I feel like there's probably grooms coming and going at this point. I think there may be some kind of challenge that I should be coming up with here.
No, so at the same time, Tay is outside the stables with the body, wailing that her friend has died. Oh, what mercy be! Oh gods! Oh grooms! Oh stable boys! Stable girls! Oh, what a terrible day this is! My dear friend Gekko has passed! She's been clubbed to death by someone! Who has done this? Who has done this terrible thing? And I'm just making commotion outside.
Kuza, you hear a commotion from the next room over, and Tay, you suddenly see a mixture of gnomes and halflings, all with silly jerseys and little mustaches, all come out and are all sort of whispering amongst themselves. And then the two guards that Kuza you saw earlier, they come out and say, "Oh bloody hell! The fucking bluecoats are going to get involved now, aren't they? Why did she have to die here?" And they come over and
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I think it was him. And I want to point at one of the jockeys that was
I
riding.
thought you were going to point at Kusa.
It was him. So hang on.
Partway through dragging a dead beetle out of the store.
You've fucked over the hagfish for.
Castiliet we need. The jockey of Castiliet.
I didn't actually deliver any hagfish, but I was going to deliver it to Castilian.
Wait, I thought you were going to deliver it to the one that Jenny was doing.
That was the lie I told, and I was fully intending to do that, but now Sherbet has an easier to copy pattern.
Okay, I'm pointing at the jockey that is going to ride Castiliat,
Okay.
and I'm saying he did it. That gnome halfling. No.
Oh god, I didn't decide. Yeah, that one's a halfling because we don't really have any halflings.
That halfling. He beat her. He beat her senses. He killed my friend. Grab him, guards.
You are commanding them.
Oh shit. It's not gone well so far.
Woo!
Hey!
Say it with your mouth.
6.
Hey!
That almost makes up for the double one before. Almost.
The guards turn and say, "Floggle, not again!" And they go to grab him and drag him screaming into the guard booth as he loudly protests his innocence. The other jockeys sort of look at each other, kind of loosen their jerseys around their necks and decide they don't want to get further involved and return to the jockey's enclosure. So, Kuza, you have now used this opportunity.
I've used this opportunity to paint the stockings onto Dead Beetle, rub the stockings off Good Beetle.
Mm-hmm.
And switch.
There weren't any markings on Dead Beetle, right?
No.
No. Drag carcass of Dead Beetle into stable of Good Beetle.
Mm-hmm.
Lead Good Beetle into stable of Dead Beetle.
Mm-hmm.
Sling drugged hagfish into the other 3 stables.
Oh, the other 3 ones. Okay.
Why not?
You don't want to put it in the other 3 because if they find a dead beetle, they're going to look in its food.
No, we just want the other good one, right?
But also, like, it's really weird if they find if they look at his food, find it hasn't been poisoned, so check the other people's, and then they've all got poisoned food, but there's the only one that's dead has got non-poisoned food.
That's true. Okay, I am going to drug Castiliat.
Wait, no, you don't. That's the one you don't have to drug. He doesn't have a jockey.
They'll find a replacement and he's still good.
All right, fine.
We want him to be a sleepy.
But what about Sherbet is our one.
Sherbet is ours.
Now.
Sherbet's dead. Sherbet is officially a dead beetle.
And People's Passion has miraculously got really good.
Sherbet's dead like Gecko. What's the name of the other one?
Saren's something. Saren's something.
Saren Stew, Casteliet, Sherbet, Grace of Arena, and People's
Oh,
Passion.
Grace of Arena.
Grace of Raina was supposed to be not very good.
Yeah.
It was sort of
don't worry
middling,
about
same as Saren Stew.
Not as good as Sherbet. We're good. All right, why don't you just poison Castiliat then?
I'm not poisoning. I'm drugging, making sleepy beetle.
That is poisoning. If I put ketamine in your cornflakes, you'd say I poisoned you.
Oh, I'd say thank you very much. Yum, yum, yum.
You'd say, thanks, I really needed this right now.
I think that's successful, and as soon as you're putting the buckets down and they have tucked into their fresh hagfish, jockeys start coming through and grooms begin leading the beetles out to the tracks. The jockey wearing a pink jersey is obviously distraught that Sherbet appears to be dead. But I don't know if you make yourself scarce before...
Yeah, I just kind of sidle out of there, I think.
like Mike Ehrmantraut in Breaking Bad when everything happens. It's just like Kuza in the background.
Dropping the sharps in the sharp bin. Yeah, move on.
Brush some hagfish off my hands.
Wait, some pink paint covering your what was it? Your fat meaty fingers.
My meaty hairy fingers, yeah.
Gecko, is there anything you want to do while you're in disguise as a judge? before you've been called on to actually do any judging.
Is there any way to reduce stress mid-heist?
What are you talking about? I gave her drugs. That's got to help.
You can't just exchange items for less stress. That would make the game really easy.
I guess it's like an item to help maybe a next roll in case.
Yeah.
Just to stabilize my fucking nerves. I guess I will. When I heard her speaking to Tay, right? What was her voice like?
Similar to yours.
Oh, that's handy.
Just less creepy and weird.
Okay.
Just as if you were a normal person.
Yeah, like if you'd gotten an education, maybe.
That was just sounded so horrible.
You, Lou, personally.
harsh but fair. I guess I will make a bit of a show of like walking along the side of the track and sort of looking like I'm, just kind of rattle a fence and check it's nice and secure and look and make sure that, just look like I'm checking that everything's above board because I don't know what else an official does, and so that's what I'm going to imagine.
But incredibly calm because of the great drugs.
A man in the uniform of Jenny's girls with a leather chest harness and short shorts comes jogging up to you. And, Newt, isn't it? I know you're famed for your neutrality, of course. I just sort of have to try this. There's no chance we can win you over to our side? And he's, like, jingling a bag of coins in his shorts pocket at this point.
I am Neutrality Jones, and I, like you said, am renowned for being neutral, and sir, you will not bribe me today.
Are you feeling okay, miss?
Yes, never better.
You look a little sallow.
I'm merely tired because I've been checking these things so thoroughly to make sure that everything is fair and above board, and it all seems to be in order.
A man in a dinner jacket comes running up after this fellow and... Oh, what are you doing? Are you trying to bribe the one neutral judge? Get off, And he sort of like taps him with his cane to make the Jenny's girl go away. And he sort of concedes and walks away, and then you're left alone with this man in a dinner jacket who then turns to you and says, Now, I know that you are, of course, the supposedly neutral judge, but there's no, everyone has their price, don't they? And he jingles money in his jacket pocket.
Should accept all of these bribes.
I am Neutrality Jones, and I am famed across
Randall, what are you up
to?
As Gecko resists one final stress that'll tick her over into trauma.
Slipping out. Ponsonby's the guy that we stole the core from, right?
Mm. Yeah, so he's probably not actually too happy to see you. And
he doesn't know it's me.
He knows you were at the party and you were outside with Jenny at the end.
Yeah, so nothing to do with me. Ah! Yes, hello, Dr. Robotnik, Jenny.
Reinhard.
Couldn't help but notice you're having a somewhat heated discussion. What could you guys... Two upstanding members of our community? Little bit of embarrassment for you recently, eh, Ponsonby? Can't look good for you, surprised you're out about so soon.
That happens to be the topic of our conversation, which you have interrupted. You look over at Jenny and she sort of looks at you a bit like, yeah, Puddin', we were sort of having a private conversation here.
I think I told Jenny it was us.
She may have had her suspicions. I don't think she has pinned it directly on you.
Okay. Yeah. Any help required finding the culprits? Any reward, perhaps?
Why, yes, I'll make you a made man if you cave this woman's head in front of me right now. How would that suit you? That would certainly prove your loyalty to the class you came from.
Well, it wasn't my choice to leave, as it turns out. They don't look too kindly on rabble-rousers.
No, I suppose they would not. Speaking of leaving, I didn't see you locked inside the manor after the shutters came down last month.
No, of course not, one wouldn't want to be inside on such a wonderful evening.
Everyone else was, except for yourself and this one, and she indicates Jenny. One might be inclined to think that shines some suspicion on you.
Yes, you'd think so, but others have private business to discuss, which doesn't involve, being inside your house at certain moments, so just because it appears suspicious, it's not always the case, is it? Conspiracy theories and all this. So the attempt here is to ingratiate myself further with Jenny by basically convincing this guy that we were just having a private chat.
Perhaps you are swaying Jenny? I don't know, I'm hard-pressed to think of a consequence for you here. Get stabbed in the leg.
I think whatever happens, the consequence is that Brando gets picked up and thrown out of the private area by the guard as he recovers. Regardless.
Point. Yeah.
Regardless, but that's part of the look.
Maybe the relationships balance out a little bit worse for you, perhaps, if they...
Yeah,
if it
so
goes badly. Yeah.
We would piss off the Regency, but maybe gain some benefit. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. We'll call this risky, but the effect will be standard. Yeah.
Randall keeping up his inability to stay on task when arriving at a score and thinking about how to forward other goals. 2 5s.
Oh, pretty good then. Yes, so I think what happens is Tybalt does give you a withering look, but looking over at Jenny, she sort of gives you a wink, and as the Regency guards grab you by the scruff of your coat and drag you outside the grandstand, throwing you into the dust, you have perhaps gained some status with Jenny's girls.
Nice. Right, guys. Good luck with the race.
Which is
Didn't you have a
tracker
for
yes.
Well, I'm saying you've gotten crew status with Jenny's girls, so someone likes
that's
you.
better. That's
as opposed to everyone being neutral on you except for the one guys who hate you.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I don't know whether you guys feel this, but I do feel like we're somewhat at a disadvantage given none of us have played this game before. But understanding quite what is meant to happen and what the good things to pursue are.
Oh yeah, not a clue.
Does anyone have anything they wish to resolve finally before the race begins? The stags are in the starters blocks.
With getting ourselves slightly more ingratiated with Jenny's crew in mind, I was thinking sort of as I sidled out, thinking I might just sort of drop in on those members of Jenny's crew that met me as I came in.
Yep, you take a peek inside the guard room. For some reason, there is a halfling jockey tied to a chair, while the Jenny's girl and other unspecified guard keep a watch on him.
And I'd just say, you can get word to Jenny. She might want to quickly make a purchase of one of these stags. I hear people's passion. He's an up-and-comer. I reckon he's worth a couple of bob.
And the guard sort of looks at you, so like, thanks?
Wait, hang on. I'm confused. What are you doing?
I am suggesting to Jenny that she buys the beetle that everyone thinks is crap, so she'll get it for cheap, that is about to win this race.
Thereby raising
Thereby, on my
suspicion
advice,
that we knew what was about to happen and were somewhere involved in this.
I
whole
reckon
thing.
this will work out well for us.
I think People's Passion is going to become a very popular beetle after this, regardless of what you say to this guard at this point.
Yeah, so why not just what is the word? Implicate us.
Well, no, but that's
I
good.
tap the
because...
side of my nose
No,
knowingly and
like,
leave.
at some point, we need to be implicated, right? We want people to know that we are capable of this. It's
a
good
rep.
for them to know that we are able to rig races over Jenny and the Regency, for example. That gives us
Some rep,
heat,
yeah.
but also rep, which is a good trade-off, I'd say.
Okay, so what have we done as the starting whistle blows? We have swapped.
Killed Gecko.
Gecko's now dead.
Yeah, I'm dead. Great. Love being dead. Do you know what death is? Peaceful. Stress-free.
Yeah, Neutrality Jones has no stress, right? So maybe you just mark off all the stress.
As I say, looking round, what kind of sums of money are people placing on various stags?
Certain sums of money. I think around the entrance plaza there are bookies taking bets, but no massive bank-breaking amounts.
Ah, okay. So it's not worth a coin then.
If you, like we were saying earlier, if you go around and play sort of small change, I think your payoff from this will be 1 or 2 coin.
Do that then.
Yeah.
Just get involved and match them, say, just as getting carried away with the moment.
So from your viewpoint in the entrance plaza, on the cheap seats now that you've been thrown out of the grandstand, Gecko, you could see from the grandstand a great view from the judge's box, even if it is a little bit...
I'm hardly looking.
There are only 4 stags in the starting block, and the jockey on Castelliat appears to be sitting on it backwards until someone comes and turns him around. And as the race takes off, People's Passion, in quote marks, is a clear leader at the front. As it gets around to the other side of the track, Saren Stew and Grace of Arena are sort of making a bit of gains behind it. But coming to the end of the race, it's clear that People's Passion is out in the lead. Nevertheless, the final decision now falls to the judges, and the complex, and I just won't go into them here, rules of stag racing.
Could you go into a couple of them?
Yeah, so you get like points for style and aggressiveness. So
Stockings.
yeah, and obviously quality of paint is a big ranking factor.
How did Kuza do, by the way?
We didn't roll for it, did we? Let's have a cheeky little roll now, shall we?
Just a straight roll, or
Unless you can make an argument for one of the action rolls.
Finesse is the only thing that I think
I'd
of.
say I would have had to study the pattern that I was replicating, right?
The stronger argument for finesse, I think.
That being said, I'm arguing for a thing I have 1 dice in, and you're saying a fortune roll, so really, why did I argue?
Did you push yourself?
I will push myself.
You're empty on stress now, right? So
I am. 6! Perfect.
So things like aggressiveness and style points, they go to People's Passion being ridden by an okay jockey. But the beetle, that beetle, it's so good at its job. However, when it comes to judging, neither the 2 judges sworn to the Regency nor the 2 judges sworn to Jenny's Girls have much of a leg to stand on. And so the final vote falls to you, Gecko. Which stag are you voting for as the winner?
I mean, the one that we want
And the name of that stag is...
is the People's not Princess. That's crazy. It's not Champion, because you told Ralph off for that.
I've had this nightmare. I've had this exact nightmare. Be funny and write. Quickly, go. It's recorded. I just really want to feel your passion for it, Lou.
Lou?
Yeah?
What's your stress level?
Is it higher or lower than Gecko's?
It's about the same. I'm quite close to going through some personal trauma.
Do you need to do some crime?
It's called The People's
Flashback.
I told you in what I was saying about that you needed to have a real passion for remembering this.
I don't remember the name.
It's The People's Passion.
Yay! People's Passion wins by a head, a furlong, a length,
Mandible?
a mandible. And you all go home richer people.
Richer in what sense? Because Gecko's
richer
dead.
in number of points you have assigned to your stress values.
That is true. I've got 2. I've never had 2 before.
Thanks for listening to Of Dice and Them. If you enjoyed this episode, we'd love to hear from you. Please leave a review on your favourite podcasting platform and subscribe to be notified as soon as new episodes drop. In the meantime, give us a follow at Of Dice and Them on social media, where you can also find out how to follow our cast. And we'll see you next time.
Snyder's Return is a tabletop roleplay interview and actual play podcast. We chat with content creators from both mainstream and indie publishers, and we release actual play episodes of systems like our City of Mist game, Meddlers, Monsters and Madmen, and more games coming in the future. We also have a TTRPG review show on YouTube, Fly Like a D6. Come and check us out. You can find us on Twitter at Return Snyder, Instagram Snyders_return. You can find us on YouTube at Snyder's Return, Discord, and everywhere you get your podcasts.
The Beatles get ghosts.
Ooh. That's a theological question that I'm not equipped to answer.
Join us next time to find out.